Last week here on Revolution, Zach George and the all-new Titan Chevrolet sailed the victory lane. Tonight, he looks to defend the championship flag with success. Will it be the Titan Chevrolet show again? We'll find out next. We're about halfway through the week. It's almost time for the weekend. Thank you guys so much for joining us here on the MTA YouTube channel. Tonight, 16 monster trucks are going to be ripping up the MTA arena floor, all clamoring for that Revolution Championship flag that's hanging off of the back of the all-new Titan Chevrolet. That is the man to beat here tonight. He's got 15 other trucks and drivers chomping at the bit, trying to take it away from him. Will Titan prevail once again? We're about to find out, ladies and gentlemen. This is how round one action is going to be breaking down here tonight on Revolution. And first up, we're going to see the return of the Junkyard Dog taking on T-Max. Then it's the return of Captain America taking on Maximum Destruction. Tropical Thunder set to take on Cowboy, and then Rambo will go one-on-one with this Shotgun Shaker. Other side of the bracket, Bigfoot Bad Boy set to take on Stone Crusher. Boogie Van back to take on Excalibur, King Sling and Midnight Rider, and then the Monster Mud Poodle will get first crack at the champion in Titan. Now up first at the line, representing the Backyard Beast race team, Ryan Davis and the Junkyard Dog. That beautiful 41 Willys coming to the line to take on Nathaniel Wiggins, the Traxxas T-Max. That new truck's been working wonders for him. He made it all the way to the final round last week. Sent that truck vertical over no man's land, losing out to Titan. He's trying to get back there here tonight. T-Max and Junkyard Dog. Green light goes down to JYD's got to leave, but T-Max is coming back on him. Out of shape, he goes over the last set of cars, and Ryan Davis inside of the Junkyard Dog will move on into our round two competition here tonight on Revolution. T-Max put up a good fight on the trailer. He goes here tonight. But next up, the Wise Man returns out of Paxton, Illinois. Wyatt Anderson, Maximum Destruction, ready now to take on Cameron Warman and Captain America. These drivers have been clamoring for that Revolution Championship flag. Max D, a brand new truck which debuted just about a month ago, working the bugs out of it. He made it to one final round showdown, lost to King Sling. Can he do it again here tonight? Green light goes down and off the line there, side by side down the straightaway. A good race. Max D pulls out a lead over Captain America, and the Wise Man picks up a win over Cameron Warman and Captain America here tonight. Maximum Destruction will move on as we go back and check out our MTA photo finish. Your winner in round one is Max D by about half a truck. He puts Captain America on the trailer. And next up here tonight, inside of round one at Revolution, Chad Legit 2 Legit made some MTA history last week when he rode the longest wheelie we have ever seen on this YouTube channel. Tropical Thunder ready to rock the house. The Ford camp out of Jupiter, Florida on the inside lane. Then you got the veteran on the outside, Jason Cook, and the Cowboy Chevrolet out of Bushnell, Florida. Ford and Chevrolet gonna duke it out here tonight inside of round one. Green light goes down the straightaway. Tropical Thunder with a slight lead up and over no man's land. Now the Cowboy can't come up with it. It legit turns it over inside of the shutdown area. Got a little crossed up on the van stack down there. What a ride it was for Tropical Thunder. The Cowboy will go home on the trailer early. The MTA track crew officials are down there now to turn Chad Legit and Tropical Thunder right side up. Hopefully the truck isn't hurt too bad as he went for that wild ride. There you see the left front tire is broken off of the truck. We'll have a pit update later tonight. Hopefully they can get that Tropical Thunder machine back at the starting line and at 100%. But next up, it's the new kid on the block, Jim Cartwright and the Saigon Checker ready to rock the house. He takes on an old-time veteran, 𝐸𝐮𝐬𝐿 in the Rambo Chevrolet over here, which is now staged on the outside lane. He did good with it last week, made it to the semifinal round. He's ready now to take on new kid, Jim Cartwright, and that Saigon Checker machine. The new kid trying to make a name for himself. Both trucks stage, the green light drops down. Checker got a lead on him now. Rambo trying to come back on him, and it's a close one, making a little bit of contact inside of the shutdown area. Jimmy Cartwright was going to show the veteran what that shaker machine was made of. Still not sure who got the round one victory. As we go back and check out our MTA photo finish, your winner will be Jimmy Cartwright, 𝐬𝐫𝐷 shaker. He puts Rambo on the trailer, so Big Tire beats out Flotation inside of round one. But next up here tonight, out of Virginia Beach, Virginia, it's the Stone Crusher Ford, Austin Crozier behind the wheel to take on Bradshaw and the Bigfoot bad boy, the Ford Camp out of Pacific, Missouri. And check out that flag on the back of the Bigfoot, the Edmonton Oilers. He's representing here tonight. It's going to be a battle of the Ford Oval Brigade, one out of Virginia Beach, the other one out of Missouri. Both trucks stay. Green light goes down. The Stone Crusher got to leave, but bad boy's coming back on him now. And Bradshaw putting the screws to Stone Crusher. It was Austin Crozier who was hanging right there with him on the inside lane. What a race it was. Way too close to call up here in the booth, but we did see Bigfoot pull it out at the end. As we go back looking at your photo finish, look how close this was, and the bad boy getting the job done here tonight inside of round one. And the bad boy from the Crush This race team will move on. And next up here tonight, Jeremy Hiles in an Escalade. We haven't seen him in a long time. He's back in action, this time on Revolution. He's now set to take on Jessica Cook in the Boogie Van Astro van based out of Hagerstown, Maryland. The brand new mainframe up underneath that truck. The crew went back, did a lot of R&D. Hopefully it's dialed in here tonight inside of round one. But Jeremy Hiles in an Escalade knows what it's like to go to victory lane. The green light goes down. They're side by side up and over no man's land. And problems for the Boogie Van. Kind of lost power there inside of no man's land, coming to the last of the cars. And Jeremy Hiles, the punk with all the junk there in an Escalade, will pull out a win in round one. Boogie Van on the trailer. Next up here tonight, the King of Kings, Bradley Graham out of Kilnova Hills, North Carolina. King Sling back at the line to take on Justin Lamb inside of the Midnight Rider. And what I want to bring to you guys is King Sling a couple of weeks ago put the championship flag on the back of that truck. He's trying to do so again here tonight. But Justin Lamb and Midnight Rider, the brand new truck on the inside, has been working well for him. Here's the green light down the straightaway. King Sling's got a big time lead. Midnight Rider can't come up with it. And over he goes inside of the shutdown area. And that race was all Bradley Graham from start to finish. King Sling advancing on into round two here tonight as Midnight Rider will go on the trailer. And now we get set and ready to close out round one competition. Violet Craddock returns out of the KJ Motorsports race team. Monster Mutt Poodle to the line to take on the reigning and defending Revolution champion, Zach George, in the all-new Titan Chevrolet. Proved that truck is forced to be reckoned with out here on the Revolution circuit. He's been working so hard for many years. The Titan is in the winner's circle. He's trying to get it there again here tonight. Green light goes down on the line. They're side by side, and Titan with a slight lead, but the Poodle hanging right there. But Zach George and Titan will pull out a victory here tonight in round one. But give credit to Violet Craddock. She was hanging right there with him all the way down to that finish line, and Titan will advance on into round two here tonight. So ladies and gentlemen, the championship flag will stay on the back of the Titan Chevrolet. Round two action is coming up next. Thank you guys so much for joining us here on this Wednesday night. Don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. The action is going to pick up after the break. Well, right now we're heading down to the pit area of the Tropical Thunder team where they broke off the left front tire in racing of round one. They are down there thrashing on that truck. The crew seems to think they'll be able to get it back and ready for action inside of round two. So the Tropical Thunder team is going to be able to come back and make the racing bracket. So ladies and gentlemen, give it up for that team as they're down there thrashing in between rounds, and we'll hopefully see Tropical Thunder advance on further in the night with all the wrenching that they're doing on that truck. Well, right now we're back with round two action. We're going to see the return of the Junkyard Dog take on Maximum Destruction. Then that's where we see Tropical Thunder come into play. He takes on the 𝐬𝐫𝐷 shaker to close out the first half of round two. Looking at the right-hand side of your screen, the Bigfoot bad boy set to take on Escalade, and then we're going to see the return of King Sling take on the Titan Chevrolet. Championship flag on the line in the second half of round two. Now coming to the line, representing the Backyard Beast race team, Ryan Davis and the Junkyard Dog gets lined up and ready against the Wise Man, Wyatt Anderson in Maximum Destruction. Let's talk a little bit about Ryan Davis here. He's had a good showing out here on Revolution the last two seasons, trying to put that truck in victory lane. Anderson and that Max D's been looking good the last couple of weeks. That's what he's got on the inside lane. Here comes the green light down the straightaway to kick off round two. Anderson with a lead on him. The Junkyard Dog trying to come back towards the finish line area as Anderson tags the inside wall with Maximum Destruction, but Junkyard Dog was hanging right there with him all the way down to the finish line. We're going back down now and checking out our MTA photo finish. Your winner in round 2 is going to be the Wise Man, Wyatt Anderson. Maximum Destruction by about half a truck. He'll put the JYD on the trailer. Well, next up to the line, we were just down in the pit area with him. Chad Legit, Too Legit. Tropical Thunder coming to the line. They got the truck repaired. He's now set to take on New Kid on the block in the Saigon Shaker. Jim Cartwright over here on the outside lane. He's making a good name for himself. We talked about him earlier today. He's been having a lot of success with that brand new truck, trying to put it in semis here tonight. He's got the old pro and Chad Legit on the inside lane. Tropical Thunder, green light goes down now, and Tropical Thunder's got a good hold shot, but Saigon Shaker's right there with him to the finish line. What a race it was as the Shaker Machine pulls the trigger coming out of no man's land. He knew he had some ground to make up, but Tropical Thunder looks like he may have just edged it out. As we go back and check out your Revolution replay, Legit schooled him off the line, but looks like Cartwright and Saigon Shaker was coming back on him up and over the first jump. They tried to settle it down here, and that's where it all unfolded, was in no man's land, as Tropical Thunder will sail to victory. But Jim Cartwright and Saigon Shaker putting up a great effort here. Again, Tropical Thunder will advance on. Next up here tonight, Brad Shaw from the Crush This Race team, the Bigfoot Bad Boy, the Ford camp based out of Pacific, Missouri. He now takes on the punk with all the junk, Jeremy Hiles, and that Escalade machine. We've seen what he can do in years past. That is one bad, fast truck over there on the outside lane multiple times. Thursday Night Thunder champion. He'll take on the Bigfoot Bad Boy on the inside lane. Ford and Escalade. The green light goes down the straightaway. Bigfoot's got a slight lead on him. Escalade trying to come back on him now. And I believe Jeremy Hiles and an Escalade just made the upset over Bigfoot here tonight inside of round 2. What a race it was, as Bradshaw had a good lead on him all the way through. Here's a look at your photo finish. Your winner, Jeremy Hiles, and an Escalade by, we'll say, a tire length. Over there on the outside lane, he puts Bigfoot on the trailer. But now it's time to defend the championship flag out here on Revolution. Zach George in the all-new Titan Chevrolet. That's a brand new piece of equipment. It's working well for him. He won the flag last week here on Revolution. Opposite lane, Bradley Graham and King Sling over here. He won out here on Revolution just a couple of weeks ago. He wants to put the King back in the final round again here tonight. He's got to go through the champion and do it. Boat truck stage. Here's the green light down the straightaway. King Sling with a slight lead, but Titan's not going away. He's coming back on him now. What a race it is, as both of them have a hard time shutting it down. Right there getting into the other parked trucks that are eliminated from competition here tonight. Zach George and Titan losing the flag right there across the finish line, but what a matchup. As we go back and check out your MTA replay here. Off the line, King Sling does get a hold shot, but Titan is right there with him. Up and over the first jump. Right here, they settle it down. One's up, one's down in no man's land, and King Sling will pull it out by maybe 3/4 of a truck. He'll put the champion on the trailer. So ladies and gentlemen, semi-final action coming up next, and we are guaranteed to crown an all-new Revolution champion out here tonight. Hope you guys are having a great time with us. Who's going to walk away with the championship flag? 4 trucks remain in our field. Semi-finals are next. Are you ready to get in on the action here on the Monster Truck Attitude YouTube channel? Look no further. Head over to Facebook where you can sign up for all the great events we host right here on the MTA YouTube channel. Be sure to sign up for the events and register your name and get locked in with a monster truck of your own and get ready for the great thrills and spills right here on the MTA YouTube channel. Again, find us on Facebook, register for these events, and you soon will be competing in all the great events. We hope to see you there. And get ready for the wild and crazy action. Be sure to subscribe and turn on all notifications so you don't miss a beat right here on the Monster Truck Attitude YouTube channel. Welcome back to Revolution here on the MTA YouTube channel. Thank you guys so much for joining us here on Wednesday night. Here's a look at how semifinals is going to be shaken down. Maximum Destruction is going to be set and ready to take on Tropical Thunder, other side of the bracket. Escalade back in action to take on an old-time rival, Bradley Graham inside of King Sling, who just put the reigning champion on the trailer earlier here tonight. Now up at the line right now, the Wise Man. Let's talk about him a little bit. He hasn't had much luck in that brand new Mac D since its debut last season out. He's been working the bugs out of it as he goes on in this competition. Made it to one final round against Bradley Graham and King Sling a couple of weeks ago. Lost out. Inside lane, the old pro, Chad Legit. Tropical Thunder's been working a wonder for him here these last couple of weeks. Who's going to the finals? Here's the green light, Max D and Tropical Thunder. Thunder's got to leave, but Max D's going right right there with him over No Man's Land, and Max D will pull out a win over 𝐾𝐨𝐧'𝐿 and Tropical Thunder. A great race nonetheless by two great drivers, but Max D will edge him out. He is in the final round showdown, but who is he going to beat there? Because the King of Kings returns. Bradley Graham inside of 𝐾𝐨𝐧'𝐭, rocking the house here tonight, takes on 𝐬𝐮𝐬𝐜𝐫𝐢𝐻𝐈 and an 𝐸scalade. These two have battled it out over the years on the MTA YouTube channel. 𝐸scalade knows what it takes to put 𝐾𝐨𝐴 on the trailer, but Bradley Graham has been on a rail here this season. He's ready on the inside lane. Who meets Max D in the finals? Here's the green light, down the straightaway they go. 𝐾𝐨𝐴 with a slight lead on the inside lane. 𝐸scalade now in trouble. Over he goes inside of the shutdown area. 𝐬𝐮𝐬𝐜𝐈 going for a wild ride. He knew he had to put the hammer down coming out of No Man's Land to try to catch 𝐾𝐨𝐴. Let's go back and check out our MTA replay here. Off the line they go. 𝐾𝐨𝐴's got a lead on him on the inside lane. Here comes 𝐸scalade now. Up and over the first jump. They try to settle it down here in No Man's Land. 𝐸scalade now catches a bad bounce on the rear end, flips him up end over end. He tries to shut it down. Had no choice but to stab the brakes before actually hitting those trucks even harder. But nonetheless, he's laid over down there inside of the shutdown area. Our MTA track crew and officials rushed down there. They got him up off the top of the Stone Crusher and Rambo. They're trying to get him right side up, but the fans absolutely love it. They love these drivers risking it all. And if that doesn't tell you these drivers are letting it all hang out here tonight, nothing else will. But 𝐸scalade on the trailer, and that means 𝐾𝐨𝐴 is in the final round showdown, and that's what we're moving on to next, ladies and gentlemen. It's what we all come to see. We are down to two, a rematch from a couple of weeks ago. Max D, 𝐾𝐨𝐴 next.
It's bigger. It's louder. It's better than ever. This still isn't your typical motorsports podcast. This is the 10th anniversary of Crush This, a monster truck podcast brought to you by J Concepts. For 10 years, your hosts, the monster truck conductor Brad Shaw and Dan 𝐶𝐶 have brought you into the minds and personalities of the monster truck industry. Strap in and hold on tight. This is Crush This!
Welcome back to the MTA YouTube channel, everybody. If you have not already, be sure to head over to monstertruckattitude.myspreadshop.com and pick up all the latest and greatest MTA merchandise. If you're a fan of what we do right here on the MTA YouTube channel, again, it's monstertruckattitude.myspreadshop.com for all your MTA gear. Welcome back to Revolution here on the MTA YouTube channel on Wednesday night. Thank you guys so much for joining us. We are now down to the finals. Let's see how it all shook down. Earlier tonight, Max D eliminated Captain America, then the Junkyard Dog, then Tropical Thunder in semis, other side of the bracket. 𝐾𝐨𝐴 eliminated Midnight Rider, Titan, and then we saw him take out 𝐸scalade in our semifinal round in a wild showdown, and that leaves 𝐾𝐨𝐴 and Maximum Destruction. Let's tell the story of the tape here, ladies and gentlemen. These two drivers met just a couple of weeks ago. Wyatt Anderson and Max D took on this man, Bradley Graham and 𝐾𝐨𝐴, who eliminated Max D in that final round showdown, becoming Revolution champion. Tonight, a little animosity on the line. Wyatt Anderson wants a little bit of revenge over Bradley Graham and 𝐾𝐨𝐴, but the king ain't gonna lay down for nobody. Both drivers are staged. Ladies and gentlemen, Max D, 𝐾𝐨𝐴. It's showtime here tonight down the straightaway. 𝐾𝐨𝐴 with a sight lane. He's up and over, in trouble now, and Max D right there with him at the finish line. What a ride for Bradley Graham. He sent it end over end inside of the shutdown area over the last set of cars. 𝐾𝐨𝐴 absolutely throwing the fans here tonight as Maximum Destruction may have just got a win. We go back and take a look at your MTA replay. Bradley Graham, 𝐾𝐨𝐴 on the inside lane, has a whole shot, maybe half a truck, hits the first jump. Watch him nosedive right here inside of No Man's Land. A bad bounce, and Anderson right there will squeak on by, and Maximum Destruction, he'll pull out a win here on Revolution. What a wild ride for 𝐾𝐨𝐴, however, but a big-time victory for the Max D team. A battle of teammates out here, and they duked it out in the final round. But ladies and gentlemen, at this time, give it up for your new Revolution champion, Wyatt Anderson, Maximum Destruction. I'll tell you guys, the racing doesn't get much better than it did here tonight on the MTA YouTube channel. We sure hope you're out here digging the new show, Revolution, on Wednesday nights. Thank you guys once again for taking time out of your day to watch us right here on the MTA YouTube channel. Big thank you to everybody coming out and supporting this page. We could not do it without you. We hope you enjoyed tonight's show. Be sure to leave a comment down below. Tell us what you thought of tonight's event. And as always, be sure to crush that subscribe button, and I'll catch you down the road.